Hello. Hi. We're
Hello.
streaming. It's on the
We
stream
are
after dark. The Stickmas Xchange program. I'm your
zooming way in on the vehicle assembly building of
Kerbal.
Kerbal Space Program.
That's Mike.
Yeah, hi.
I gave Mike Kerbal Space Program
Mm-hmm.
for
And
his
then I
name.
said, if I'm going to play this game, you got to help me because it's really hard.
Yeah, we're gonna see. We're gonna
So,
see how it goes. I don't know. I played a bunch of this game back in 2015 when it was officially released, even though it was like out in like 2011 or something in a playable state. Um, and it was like one of my top 5 games of that year, and I loved the hell out of it. And I loved watching the Giant Beast video series that Giant Bomb did. It was a hell of a good time as well.
indeed.
And of all of the people that I play, hang out with and talk about video games with, you were probably the only one I could realistically see.
You could maybe get
This
Kurt in on this kind of thing. Like, he likes puzzles. It's kind of like a puzzle.
could be.
How do you keep your little green guys alive?
Yeah. Um. So yeah,
Don't expect the answer to that question anytime soon.
I'm not a scientist. I'm not an expert in physics, and I mean,
I guess I am both of those things.
okay, well that's good. You got a big head start on me, but I just had fun sticking a bunch of rocket pieces together and seeing how far I could push the Kerbals. I made it to the moon and I landed and made it back to Kerbin on a trip. I made it to Minmus and back also, and then I crashed into a few of the planets. But I was not able
Oh,
to successfully land on or take off from any of those because that is a
is
much more
Minmus the
difficult.
Mars equivalent to this game?
No, Minmus is Kerbin's second moon. It's a
Oh,
smaller moon. It's actually so it's a much more. It's kind of a more difficult target to hit because it's a little smaller, but it's actually much easier to land on Minmus and then land back on Kerbin. I actually did that first because it's a smaller. It's a much smaller body, and so the gravity is a lot smaller, so you don't need as much fuel to take off.
right.
Um,
Yeah, well, so let's see. I mean, I've done a bunch of tutorials and I have a vague idea of the kind of rudiments of how this thing works, but it's a really complicated game. So for today, we're not going to aim too high. I mean, we're going to aim for space, but we're going to aim to get our little dudes into space. And I mean,
try and crash into
if
the moon or Minmus.
yeah, if things go well, we'll try to crash into the moon. Wow, are they like drifting tractors in the back there? You guys are having all sorts of fun. So one thing I'm reasonably sure of is that if we're going to go to space, we probably need some kind of cockpit or command pod, right?
I like the Dead Nuts Simple one, which is one of the little triangular ones, the Mach 1.
The very first one here, the Mark 1.
That's a little one that holds 1 Kerbal. And then there is a bigger version of that holds 3, which I think is
The Mark 1 3 here, there.
that might be that one.
Room for 3 crew members. Well, certainly 3 faces on the screen would be more fun than no faces. So here we go.
Quite a bit bigger, quite a bit heavier. Nice flag, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. I made it just now. We're going to go and plant that somewhere, right?
Hopefully, yeah.
Potentially at the bottom of the ocean.
If nothing else, you can at least plaster it all over your ship before you take off.
Okay. Now, I do also recall, if I can find it, that we're going to want a parachute.
Yeah, you're probably going to want a parachute.
We're going to assume that we may survive this trip, right? Do I need a fancy
I think
parachute?
you might want the one below that one, might be a little bigger.
Because this one might not be able to.
Go all the way to down one and then over back all the way to the left. I think might be the
The XL here.
I think that might be it.
Double-sized variant.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Sure, if you think that that's a good way to go. If it fails, it will at least fail in a very entertaining fashion.
Yeah. That other one.
Now, I also remember that
this 3-person command pod up.
you also need to tweak the parachute settings because I guess the settings that they give you at default kind of suck. So,
Oh really?
well, I don't know. In the tutorials, they're always like, "Yeah, always adjust the pressure, otherwise it's going to deploy while you're basically in space."
Oh,
So,
that's not good.
yeah.
That's new. See,
So,
I haven't really touched this game in the last like 2.5 or 3 years.
Hmm.
So like when it was in early access, there was no real atmospheric anything. So like there was no air currents or anything that you had to deal
there was no heat as you were going up and down.
well, there was some heat, but it wouldn't like push you around a whole lot. Like you would
Okay.
still burn up on re-entry if your angle was fucked up, but it was much easier to get into orbit back then. And then when I picked it up, they had introduced some of that stuff, and I believe that they have refined some of that stuff since then. So we'll see.
All right. Well, now the next thing we need to do is get rid of whatever's below the pod, right? We're gonna need a decoupler
Yes, sir.
behind. I don't know how much it matters. I mean, the ejection force is different, but I can't imagine that's a big deal, right?
I need the one that is about the size of the pod, I would say.
Um,
The bigger one. There you go.
that looks like it's a good fit.
Yeah.
All right, got a decoupler.
You may also want a. You might want there's like some stabilizers that go on the bottom of the decouplers. That will help with your like when you push F and use the stabilization thing.
In the aerodynamics section here, got all these fins. Is that what you're talking about?
No, it's like a round thing. It's like it uses centripetal force to like stabilize the top of your ship.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, now see that's news to me. I don't know what that is or where to find it.
I forget where those are.
Okay, they didn't mention those in the tutorial.
Well, maybe we don't care about that right now. We'll see how this goes.
Yeah. Tri-coupler.
Yeah, that's if you want 3 fuel tanks.
Oh man, that sounds cool. Okay, so now we do need some kind of. We need like an engine, or do we need?
Are we just gonna try and get some lift off here? Or are we gonna try and fly a little bit once we get out there?
I would like to try to build something that can maneuver once it's in space, right?
What you're gonna need is a liquid fuel tank because that is your ideal fuel tanks once you're out in space. The solid rockets don't work so great in space because you can't control the throttle.
Okay, where are the fuel tanks?
Yeah.
Alrighty. So, I'm trying to remember which one the tutorial recommended. It was the FLT 100, I want to say.
You might want to. That might work.
Maybe
You might want a bigger one than that.
Maybe that's too small.
Yeah, that might be too small for what we got going on here.
But it's funny. I'm trying to.
Because there's like some of them are designed for shuttles and like see.
Oh, that's very small.
Yeah, that's for the single man pod.
Oh, okay. So we're making a bigger bore rocket than I'm used to.
Right. We could just do the single pod one if you want. It's a little
no.
Less.
Come on, gotta live.
So you don't need as much delta V to move around and stuff.
We gotta live a little, you know. So here's a big old stack.
Yeah,
Is that?
That's a big one. That's go for it.
Okay, and then we just give that thing an engine at the bottom so we can maneuver it.
Yep.
So let's see here. That thing's got kilonewtons of thrust.
You want like just one of the smaller ones that is about the same size as that fuel tank for your maneuvers out in space. You might want maybe a little bit bigger than that.
Let's see. The Skipper liquid fuel engine. That looks like it would kind of fit.
Yeah, we'll fly around a little bit. I think that might burn fuel too fast for what we're trying to do, but let's go for it now. For now, let's see if we can get into space and fly around a little bit.
All right, good first step. All right, so this is our space tube, right? This is the thing. Do we want to fill this thing with fuel, right? Why would we not want to fill this thing with fuel?
It doesn't have any fuel in it. That seems. I mean, it'll be a lot lighter. It'll be easier to get out there.
Let's say, but we could put less fuel if we wanted.
I mean, so we could build a space station and put no fuel in it, and then fly the pod up, and then fill it with fuel, and then.
I want to start by building I want rockets here.
Okay.
I want to be blasting off.
You don't think we have time to build a space station? I never got into that, but people have built some wild fucking things in this game.
I bet they have. Do we want to have anything to guide this kind of top sausage thing here?
I mean, that's you mean like put some like mono. You could put some like little mono propellant dude hickeys on there.
Where did those guys?
Mono propellant tank also, if I remember correctly.
I don't remember where. Oh, is it? It's these things.
Yeah.
So the thruster block is what they were recommending in the tutorial.
Right.
Let's just get a look here. So here's my fuel tank.
You can use those to help like line up your maneuvers
and when this thing is empty, our center of mass is going to be kind of around here,
Uh-huh.
but it doesn't move that much versus full, which is surprising. That means the tank itself is very heavy.
It's a good tank.
So they recommended this like thruster block set.
You could put those right on the command pod, I think.
Okay, well, I don't know. That's not how we did when I was tutorializing, but because this is going to be for when we're in space, but we want to still be able to move around and orient ourselves and stuff.
Yes.
Because by the time we're down to just the command pod, it's parachute time.
Fair enough.
The command pod doesn't have an engine on its own, so we got a set of 4 of these.
Old Kerbal, you could sometimes you could use those as a last ditch effort to kind of like point yourself towards the planet and give a little nudge and hope to land on it.
Oh.
When you were just the command pod. You might also need a tank for some monopropellant to fire those little bad dads.
Oh, is that what the monopropellant's for?
I believe so, yeah.
Oh, look at this. Advanced inline stabler.
Stabilizer. That's the thing I was talking about.
Oh, so how do I add something into the middle of my stack?
I believe if
insert.
You click on you would want to put it on the top side of the fuel tank. So I think if you click the fuel tank and drag down, it'll break it.
Oh, I can can make some space there.
Yeah.
So would you put the stabilizer on the pod at all times?
You're not going to want it on the pod when you're going in for re-entry, I don't think.
So the stabilizer would go underneath. Oh, look at that, this little tiny thing.
Try the one next to it. Might be a little bigger.
Advanced reaction wheel module, large.
There you go.
All right, so we got a reaction wheel, and now you.
This thing's gonna be like driving a school bus around in space.
Now we're talking solid fuel tank. Right.
Well, make sure to connect your other tank to that thing.
Oh, I figured the solid one would go between the two.
No, you want the solid ones on the bottom.
That effect.
Yeah. There you go.
So I should bring the engine down, though.
No. So use the solid ones to push this into space, and then you decouple those, and then.
Oh, I thought you said. Afterwards. I thought you said that I needed a small solid fuel tank for my little orientation rockets here, like the
monopropellant. I believe is.
Sorry, is that not?
Yeah,
that's different.
Monopropellant is like oxygen, basically. That's how those little thrusters operate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they just it's like a little puff to just kind of nudge you around a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. I had misunderstood. So if I want some monopropellant,
there might be. I don't remember where they are, but I want to say they're like a little orb-shaped thing that goes on there. And I don't remember if you have
passenger module. Wow.
Let's go down one up on that.
It wouldn't be in science, right?
Yeah, I don't think so. Science stuff is something you mostly just deal with in the career mode, where you click science and then you get.
Yeah, because we've got everything unlocked already, basically.
This is my opinion. This is the way to play this game. Like the science, the career mode could probably be kind of fun, but it just when I was playing it, it moved way too slowly.
Right.
You had to like collect science, not just by like you would shoot a rocket and then you would try and even land in various biomes, and then you would collect science that way.
Hey, there's a search bar.
Oh, there you go.
So look at this. I can. That's tiny. This thing is just teeny tiny.
Right. Well, I think there's one that just attaches to the side of this ship.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. I thought there was. What's that little? See
the O10 Puff monopropellant fuel engine.
Yeah, go down one. Yeah, like.
Oh, look at that! So I could just stick 4 of those.
Yeah, I think you can just stick those on there. I don't know if you have to connect them. I don't think you used to have to, but.
I don't feel like I connected anything when I was doing this for the tutorial. It was just like I did have a monopropellant tank, and I had those little burner things, but I guess we'll find out, huh? I just typed line into the search engine, and I don't see any like fuel line or anything.
That's the external fuel duct, that yellow thing. That's the fuel line.
Right.
You can use those to connect. So like in old Kerbal, pre-final, like pre 1.0, like celery staging was the thing to do, which is like you would make a bunch of like liquid fuel tanks, and then you would connect them all together via hoses, and then you would drain each tank individually, and then you would like
Jettison each one
right
in
as you
turn.
went to get less and less mass. But that does not apparently work as well as it used to with the introduction of the more advanced aerodynamic stuff in atmosphere. Apparently, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know that much about astrophysics or thermodynamics or any of that kind of shit. But
you know a lot more about Kerbal than I do. So, all right, I think it's time for us to couple this thing to some booster rockets.
You need like a big coupler. There should be one, I think, that will cover up that rocket to give you better.
I think any coupler will do that.
Will it? Okay.
If it's the right size, however, these ones are maybe too small. That's a little big, huh?
Yeah, that might be a little on the big side.
Okay. There, you see, I think any coupler will cover the rocket over.
So now you're going to want a lot of the biggest solid engines that you can find.
Oh, man. So, see, there's a thumper, solid fuel booster. That seems to be kind of like our big choice here. Okay. Liquid fuel, thumper. I guess I can just type in solid.
We got there.
Yeah, there are only a couple options. There's the Flea, which has 162 kilonewton or
that's for babies. We don't want that one.
And there's the Hammer. And then there's the Thumper. So the Thumper is definitely the biggest of all these.
I think that's what you want.
So we want do you want like 4 of those?
Like, how many can you do? 8?
Let's do yeah?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Dang.
You might have to slide the ship up a little bit.
Oh, you think?
Maybe.
Whoa! Oh no! Oh, this is such a bad idea.
Trust me, you're gonna want this. You're gonna need it.
Do you want me to move the ship up before I connect these on?
Yeah, I don't know if you want to put them right on the bottom, or if you want to put. You can either put them right on the bottom of the thing, or you can put decouplers on the side, and attach them kind of on the sides.
I'm just curious about one thing. I know in the tutorial they're like, "Hey, make sure you rotate your ship so that it's facing a specific way when you launch it, so that you can use pitch and yaw to steer instead of the other way."
Right.
I don't remember exactly how that was accomplished.
So, well, basically, what you want to, or what
I did it.
What I found easiest was to, I would use the solid boosters to get me to about like 60,000 feet or so. And then I would jettison them, and then I would use the liquid fuel tank to turn the ship to start the first maneuver. Because you kind of want to, when you take off, you kind of want to angle yourself against the rotation of the planet, so that way it's easier for you to
get into orbit.
Because it's possible you can just strap a shitload of rockets to a thing and then fire it straight up, and you could go like hundreds of thousands of feet into into space, but if you can't orient yourself properly once you get there, then you can't achieve an orbit. So
yeah. All right, so I can stick all the booster rockets onto the coupler, but then they seemed a little bit choked up kind of farther than I want them to be.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
There's like a thing that will connect to those to the side of the ship.
Like a side coupler?
Yeah, there is like a side coupler thing.
Radial decoupler.
There's those ones that'll stick on the sides.
So I mean, I can do that.
And then you can attach the rockets to those if you want.
Okay. All right, 8 thumpers coming up. Oh, even so, that only kind of moves them a little hair.
Should be able to click higher on the thing, and then you should be able to higher on the rocket booster part. And then
you think I can
slide it down? I think because it'll attach where the mouse is.
Oh, okay. No, it doesn't. It doesn't seem to be respecting that, because now I'm carrying this thing around by the top, and it's still.
Maybe try.
I mean, this is what we get, right? This is.
Yeah, I mean
that looked a little short.
That'll be all right. With the solid rocket fuel boosters. So now you gotta figure out. Oh, that's the top of my head. Hey.
With the solid rocket fuel boosters.
You may want to put some cones on there for
Yes.
aerodynamic purposes. You might want a fin somewhere.
Bam.
Yeah,
Check it out. We're coned.
yeah. Those are some nice cones.
So what's a good fin?
I don't know.
Winglet.
So like the wings are for like making a space shuttle.
Do we want winglets or fins different? Oh, that's an airplane tail fin. Wing skate. Okay, let's just try using the search bar. Here's our friend.
Yeah.
Winglet.
Yeah.
Winglet.
You want the
Basic fin.
Basic fin. That might be what you're looking for.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not some kind of fancy guy. Like, I can go for a basic fin or
With a
tail fin.
Yeah, I mean,
All
if you do that, some funny shit's gonna happen. You should
right, let's give that a try first. I think we're ready to launch.
You're gonna need a tower to hold this thing up, or it probably won't take off.
I have to build a tower?
There's an option in there that's just a tower. If you just type tower in the search bar, it'll give you like a thing that you can connect to the. That's it right there.
I guess 8 of those is maybe.
It might be a little overkill, or or not, whatever.
This is surprising.
Put them on top of the rockets, so that way when it fires, there you go. Yeah.
Well, how do I get the super big? I want when they're freaking out and jumping super far away. I want to make that permanent, but I don't know how. There you go. That's going to be really helpful.
That's useful.
All right, I guess we'll just do it this kind of like a reasonable way.
Yeah. Okay. Also,
all right.
Make sure your staging is proper. On the.
Well, the first come off the clamps.
Yep.
Then all the booster rockets.
Okay.
Then I don't know why they're not staged at the same time as the couplers that are holding them together. Well, I guess I'll move those into the same.
You don't want those at the same time, or you'll decouple them as they fire, and then they'll just go flying off into nothing. So you want those on separate stages, I think.
This is no.
Uh-oh.
I ruined everything. All right, all the girder guys are coming off in stage 6, and then the rockets, and then the couplers. So you think the couplers need to be in their own stage?
You might want to make it so it fires the rockets before the outside couplers release, or else the rocket will fall down before it takes off.
So I need to move them into the same part or before?
Same might be okay with the solid ones because they shoot right off. I don't know. We'll find out. I don't really remember. Let's give it a shot.
Yeah. Do you have an eye on the chat? Is anybody?
Oh no, I didn't bring it up, but I can go look. I also didn't.
Oh man, so I love that this rocket's just like floating in midair. I don't see how this can go badly.
It's a thing of beauty.
So, when I press spacebar, all the towers are going to let go, and the boosters are going to fire up at the same time. We're also 90 meters off the ground.
It's fine.
Which is almost a football field.
We got kind of a head start.
All right, this is going to be great. Here we go. Do we need to do like a countdown or?
Yeah, I mean we can.
We are clear for launch in T-3, 2, 1. Lift off.
Look at this.
Look at that. That actually went surprisingly well.
Yeah.
and now the washing machine.
It's kind of starting to happen a little bit. It's like throwing a football. You want a good spiral because it helps with.
I almost get the impression that this is helping.
It might be.
I had way more trouble than this with some of my previous attempts. That's just a lot of fuel that we got going on.
I would change the title of the stream, but I don't remember how. So it's
but I don't
still playing Wonder Boy in the Dragon's Trap, which is
this spin is maybe going to make it really hard for us to tilt the rocket.
Oh yeah.
It's
hard
also
to do that with the so it won't spin as much once you drop those rockets.
I don't know what just happened, but that looked really good.
Make sure you get that little thing fire in there. You have to bring up your. You have to turn on the engine, the liquid engine.
It doesn't seem to be engineing very hard. Nope. Nope. That was well.
Well, hey, you made it just about. Almost made it out of the atmosphere.
We're still going up. In some ways, I'm kind of impressed. We're gonna make it up to
tumbling a little bit,
48 kilometers,
which is a little on the rough side. But I mean, that's basically space. That
was actually more success than I was expecting.
You need to get to about 70,000 meters before you can really do an orbit.
So how come my liquid fuel burner didn't start doing anything?
You might have to throttle it up first.
Oh, there's a throttle in this game. All right. Should we try this again, or do you want to see what the eventual fate of these guys is going to be?
I mean,
it's going to take a while before we find out.
You could accelerate it, but they'll just probably explode because when you accelerate time and atmosphere, really fucked up things always happen.
Yeah, that seems to still be the case from what I've seen. Yeah, let's deploy the parachute. Oh, it's not going to do anything until we get down below. Oh, we just hit the top. All right. Well, if I just point the camera this way, we're in space.
Yep.
So good job, us. All right. How do I get back to?
We almost made it out of atmosphere, but you need to get to like a perfect orbit for me was always between like 80 and 90,000 meters.
All right, we're going back.
Because if you get too far away from Kerbin, then you don't get like that gravitational sling when you come flying back off the. When you push out.
All right, so the first part of this went really well, actually. I just need to make sure that I turn the throttle on once we ditch the solid fuel boosters. So
we might need more fuel, I'm thinking. We'll see.
Let's find out. Badoom!
We might need more fuel.
This thing just takes off like a shot.
Yeah. That's solid fuel boosters, man.
I really do like that rifling, but I think we need to be able to kind of tilt somehow, right?
Yeah, it's easier to do once you get rid of the solid boosters.
I'm having a lot of trouble. I mean, again, I should probably fix the fins. Yeah. I'm sure the fins are not helping at all with this.
I mean, are you trying to aim it, or is it just?
I'm trying, yeah. Okay. This is me trying to tilt the rocket so that we go sideways.
I mean, you're kind of going the right way. The way that I got some bad news. Well, the good news is somehow the command pod survived the explosion.
Okay, I'm not quite sure why that didn't work. Take 3. Third time's the charm. Woo!
It might be because they're not quite done burning when you release them. Because they should just kind of fall away, I think.
Wow! All right, this is good. We got some nice.
Pretty good. We might not be the worst idea to go back to a single command pod and like a little bit less weight, because all these solid boosters should get us just about the space before you dump the things. But
getting hot in there.
Take off all your clothes. There you go. Oh man, that was pretty.
All right, I've throttled up, but I don't. Do I need to fire? Oh, okay.
You should.
Do I need to fire again? I'm just going to lose my booster if I fire now, aren't I?
No, you don't want to push space because that's the.
Oh, okay, it worked.
There is a button to fire the rocket, but
no, it was space again.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Okay. All right, we're doing a thing.
What's our? Check the map. What are we gonna hit here? What's our?
Right now we're looking at 80.
Okay, that's good.
So should I kill the throttle?
Well, you want to get. You're going pretty good right now, I would say.
No, but like I was gonna overshoot.
Yeah, you don't want to be careful. See, you're losing altitude. You got to get to at least.
Oh, that's because I'm pointed the wrong way.
Yeah, you want to keep that ball pointed just in the right direction. You might have to go up just a little bit more. That might work. How are we doing on fuel?
We're about halfway empty.
Yeah, we might not have enough fuel.
The problem is I can't watch.
Once you get out of atmosphere, once you get to about 60, then you can just turn sideways and just shoot for it.
You know what I'm just remembering now is that I haven't been using the stabilizer.
Oh yeah, that will help you keep it stable, obviously.
Yeah, that's Because
I think oh man, we're gonna get real close, but I don't think we're quite gonna make it. We're gonna run out of gas.
all right, we're going prograde now.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this orbit.
We got real close, but we're not gonna quite make it.
That's
it.
That's gonna be a real fun trip until the last 2 minutes or so.
We ran out of gas. We need either.
Yeah, but that's because I was pointed the wrong way.
Maybe, but see, the thing is we're not gonna have enough fuel to
go anywhere
to make a maneuver after this. So we might, if we had a better pilot, we might be able to get into an orbit, but we're not gonna be able to do anything after that.
All right, let's just take a second here to appreciate the grandeur.
It is. It's really quite beautiful. There's a mod that will make the planet itself look a lot nicer too.
The planet does look very crummy.
Yeah, it's kind of a.
This is like some Comanche level nonsense.
Yeah, it looks like an early '90s PC RPG or.
I was thinking Comanche, the helicopter sim.
Okay, yeah.
Voxel based game.
Yeah. Or like an old like Microsoft Flight Sim.
I do like being able to line you up in front of the sun here. All right, well, I mean, obviously we don't need this anymore.
Yeah, you might as well get rid of it.
Might as well arm the parachute while we're here. We're going to need it eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, so we need to tweak some stuff, is what I'm understanding here.
We either need a smaller middle section or like maybe 2 or 3 of those fuel tanks.
Of the liquid ones.
Yeah. Or yeah, you could do that.
Yeah, okay, let's try that.
The other problem is that so like when I did it, I ended up doing like a 3-stage thing where I would use the solid boosters to get me into space, and then I would have like a big engine to push me into an orbit, and then I would have a smaller engine yet with a smaller fuel tank for actually flying around in space.
Well, I don't think there's any reason why we couldn't do something like that.
Yeah, we could do that.
All right, so here's our current setup. So I think our last stage can probably stay as it is.
Yeah, it's okay. Do you want to?
Right. So then we want to add basically another liquid fuel tank or 2 and another engine, right?
Yeah, that would work probably. Because we have a bigger command module, we have a bigger degree of difficulty just based on that because it's so much more weight.
I mean, honestly, this is going way better than my previous trial was. So.
I mean, I did play like 30 hours of this, and there is some, even though it was 3 years ago, I still remember a little bit of it. So.
That's way too small. I would like to remember what size we picked earlier. Oh, was it this thing? Was it the Rocco Max?
Rocco Max one.
So how about 2 Rocco Maxes?
Okay.
Is that too much?
No, that's fine.
Was there a middle stage here?
Yeah.
Better move you up a little bit. All right, so now we need another engine.
I mean, if you want to get one that like really cooks, you could probably put that on there. See that swivel one? That one will give you a little bit more.
Yeah.
No, maybe that's not big enough.
Well, I think it's one of the better ones. Oh, you know what? No, we want the mainsail.
Okay, yeah. Yep.
Monster of an engine for heavy lifting purposes.
Yeah, that's what we want.
Yeah, give me that mainsail.
You want to put one more fuel tank on there?
We don't think 2's enough?
I mean, it's getting pretty heavy, so we're gonna have to do a pretty heavy burn.
All right. I've lost track of the fuel tanks here. There you
go.
I mean, these are Rocco Max kind of mediums, but there's a bigger one.
Is there?
I think. The Jumbo 64 is bigger. What about 2 jumbos instead of 2 mediums?
Yeah.
1440. Sure. Oh, each one of these is 2 of those. Okay. We just doubled.
Yeah, that's. I mean.
Heck yes.
All right, get your big ass engine on there then. We might have some stability issues with with this ship.
No, because I'm going to put some fins on my rocket.
Okay.
I am a professional rocket person. We're going to use some basic fins.
Just some real simple.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Well, at least they're not going to add a lot of weight with those fins.
Would you prefer some winglets? What does it say here? Use it at your own risk.
What's the...
Okay, what about these?
Okay, there you go. That seems...
Those look all right, huh?
Yeah, that looks nice.
Some like here, maybe?
Yeah. I mean, you might want to just put those on the solid fuel boosters, because they ain't going to be doing a lot for you once you get into space.
But are we going to be in space when we fire this? Well, then how are we going to be stabilized then if we don't have wing?
Yeah, fair enough. You're right. Put a couple. You might as well put a couple on there, just for shits. Plus, they aren't going to hurt you that much once you're out there. There's just a little extra mass. Oh wow.
I like these. These got some.
Yeah, they got real nice.
They got some verve.
Yeah, those are really heavy.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
0.36 each versus 0.1. Oh, so they are 3 times heavier than the ones I was looking at. Fine. All right. Looks like a rocket.
Yeah.
That's totally a rocket. Don't need you. All right. So now we've got 2 stages of liquid fuel goodness. We're going to want some couplers. Do we just stick the radial couplers down here, I guess?
Yeah. That'd be fine. There's some those other ones will push the boosters out a little bit further if you want that. I don't know if you want that or not, though.
Which one? This one here? The hydraulic detachment manifold?
It's the one on the very bottom right.
Oh, Oh, this one here? Yeah. Oh, well, sure. That would be nice, I guess. So like this?
Yeah, you might want to move them up to the middle of the tank. Yeah.
Be a little less likely to shear our rocket into pieces.
If you get it too top heavy, then it'll turn around and fly itself right back into the ground. I see. This is one of those things where maybe I should have let you make that mistake.
I want to do some space, you know.
Yeah.
Is the thumper the big one?
Try that one.
Oh, what about the kickback?
I mean, it should say
600 kilonewtons.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Okay. Yeah. There you go.
Super heavy booster.
Yeah. There you go.
Hell yes.
Make sure those are connected to your thing too.
I think they are. Oh, yeah. I gotta stick them on the.
Yeah. There you go.
It's not very okay. They kind of stick out when they're all right.
Yeah.
Give them some nose cones, right?
Yep. You need something to, and then you might want some little fins on those, and then put your towers on there. We're gonna try it.
Oh, those are too big.
Do it. Yeah,
I love it.
Do it once.
I love it. The mushroom forest.
That's definitely what I would describe those as. This is a family-friendly stream, despite the number of times that I've said "fuck" so far.
Now we're talking stable.
You might as well
do
it once.
This thing is worthy of an upgrade. This is the second edition of our craft. We're gonna save that. Oh, I should give it the little strut support.
Yeah, because if you just put it on there like that, it will just topple over.
Look at how much bigger this thing is compared to our last one. Okay, so you're saying that I need... Oh boy, the solid fuel rockets are going to fire up after they get decoupled, which would...
Not good.
That would be pretty funny, but maybe not what we're going for. So at the same time as the thing drops off, that's good.
Yeah, that's fine.
Right? And then we're going to ditch the solid fuel.
Fire up the big liquid.
Yeah.
Decouple
the all right.
liquid for hopefully...
Man, I love this thing. This thing is great.
Uh-huh.
This is going to be the best. Okay.
When you set the ship down and it starts to creak under its own weight, that means you've done something really
this looks just like the NASA ship
Yep.
that they made. I'm pretty sure.
Is this more like Elon Musk's ship or Rick and Garriott's ship? Or...
All these caps up here probably smell a little musky.
Oh.
All right. T minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Go.
Lift off.
Yeah. I can't believe it took off.
It's not going up quite like a shot the way the last one did.
I mean, you still got a lot of fuel left to burn in those. Those are some big ass boosters. It's gonna take a minute to get that thing, moving. It is glorious though.
It outshines the sun.
Jebediah's into it. Bill is a little trepidatious, and Bob is shitting his pants.
Now, I don't think I have basically any way to steer this thing.
Uh-huh.
I think we're on the ride at this point.
All right, we'll just see. You just gotta go with the flow, man. See where life takes you.
Taking us to about 8 kilometers in the sky at this point. So I guess the first big factor is that the air resistance decreases.
Yeah, the higher you get. Each one of those, so there's an atmospheric gauge underneath your altitude meter, and that will, like, each one of those. Oh man, that was beautiful.
Nope.
Whoops.
What? Nope. Nope.
Bye bye.
How do I? All right.
If you gotta, do you have to?
Okay, hold on. I got a plan here. I got a plan. Stabilize me.
Yep. Just
not very stable. All right.
Yep. That's
here stable. We go. Maximum impact.
Yep. Get back to Kerbin as fast as possible so you can launch again.
Yeah, we just want to try again.
Yeah.
I like how you can see all the debris falling.
I think in the career mode you can actually like go back and collect them and that stuff to get your money back.
Oh, you have to like send teams out? I think so. Well, the boosters that we bought were designed to be reused.
Right. If you can dredge them up from the bottom of the fucking ocean. Like how it's all dark inside the command pod now. I just have like they're bearing their grim conscience and just gonna take it.
All right, this is good. I think we're really getting somewhere.
That red means that's a good thing. It's like NBA Jam, you're on fire.
Boom, shakalaka. All those meters filling. We're going to get our super move soon, right?
You level up when those get to 100%.
All right.
I can't believe that made the ground to explode. I thought for sure that would have blown up in
the parachute didn't deploy. I'm pretty sure that's not my fault. I'm going to talk to the manufacturer about that.
It may have deployed and then immediately burned up. Because that was a problem I had a lot.
All right, here we go. I love the wobbliness of our giant solid fuel boosters.
I think that maybe all the stress from those extremely large, heavy fins. This is like a sunflower.
It's just gorgeous. Look at this thing.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I was going to space.
Just gently twirls. Like a ballerina.
Kind of mesmerizing.
If we make it into orbit with this thing. That's what makes this a really awesome game, is that it makes you consider all these factors, but it still gives you enough fucking around space to just tape a bunch of stuff together and see what happens.
How much do you think each of those wings weighs?
I mean, I have to assume that just those alone like double the weight of the ship. Oh, I think you did it.
I feel like we're jettisoning our engine at the same time as.
Yeah, either that or it's blowing up the engine, maybe.
Like, also, is there just a button that I don't know for turn on the throttle of your engine?
Yeah, there is, but I never did find my notes that
Woo!
I never did find my notes of the controls. I kind of had to stop.
Doesn't seem very promising here.
No, I mean.
Oh, actually, our apoapsis is doing fine.
Well, you could, if you can get yourself oriented properly, you can throttle it way down and just let momentum carry you to the right height, and then fire it up and just start moving yourself.
Whoa!
Position.
I didn't know there was a button that did that.
So how high are you gonna get?
Right now we're at 122.
Yeah. So now what you kind of want to do is just kind of turn the engine off and just chill. You're not gonna have enough fuel, I think. Don't think to make it anyways.
I got 2/3 of my tank left
Yeah, but it takes a lot of fuel to get yourself into an orbit.
into orbit.
Yeah, so you kind of
So
the key is you kind of wait until you're almost at the apoapsis, and then you fire the engines and do a hard burn and
to kind of straighten it out.
right.
I want to try and turn the planet around. Like I want to see the other side of this arc, and it doesn't seem to want to work. All right. Well,
I
let's.
think you can calculate that if you go back into that view, and then right click on the arc. You can like set up a maneuver.
Actually, you can click on the apple. You can warp here if you want.
Yeah, or you can
just warp to the apoapsis.
if you want to. Yeah. Just be ready to fire it up because if you start falling down, it'd be a little too late. But see, so with the add maneuver thing, you can add a maneuver that will automatically line yourself up with what you want to be firing at.
Right. We can also just click on these little doohickeys here. So I just selected prograde basically. Now,
and it's spreading. It's a
fun begins.
The first time that makes it all the way around the globe.
I have done it before, but in the tutorial, so they kind of, they set things up in my favor, but this will be my first real creation. Come on, baby. We're almost there.
I don't know if we're going to have enough fuel or not.
Got to fall and miss, right?
I think you're going to make it.
We're almost. That's real close.
You're almost there.
Just a little farther. Just a little farther.
Yeah.
All right. That is not a very regular orbit.
It's an egg. Is your periapsis? I think you might hit the atmosphere and then fall back in when you hit the.
Well, we could always burn again. Oh, no, we can. No, we can't. All right. This is what we get.
Go back to the globe view for a second, and just check your periapsis at the bottom there. What's that at?
63 kilometers.
Oh man, that's real close. That might be just enough to capture you and bring you back to the planet.
We can always find out.
That's true. Yeah, just bring the time scale way up. Either they're trapped forever in space, or
not.
Yeah.
Which is worse? All right. Let's see here. Warp here.
Well, actually, I don't know if you can still pull this off or not, but you used to be able to. You could exit the pod, and then attach the Kerbin. All the Kerbals have a little jetpack strapped to their back, and you could attach them to the pod, and then you could like use them to push it and like slow it down a little bit. But I don't know if you can still do that or not.
So the thing that I don't understand is why is my middle stage not firing, right? Because we would have had fuel aplenty.
Rockets, they're hitting the engine and blowing it up.
Oh, so it's like a mechanical issue.
Yeah.
So what can we do to fix that?
I am not 100% sure.
Maybe like get the rockets a little farther away from the body?
Yeah, or move them down a little bit more, maybe. Or maybe put some more practically sized fins on there, so there's a little less mass.
Which one of these two lines we're going to follow here? Oh. I think we're going to be okay.
Yeah, I don't remember how far.
We're not going to hit atmosphere, I don't think.
Okay. No, you just missed it. So it must be like right around 60,000 must be the sweet spot.
We're climbing, so we're good for another orbit. All right, well, we made it to space.
I also had like my first successful to the moon and back mission. I ran out of fuel and I just barely made it into atmosphere, and then I had to orbit like 100 times before it caught
for it to degrade enough.
Yeah. And then eventually I hit the atmosphere and made it back down to the planet. But
this is really weird that I can zoom in and out on the ship, but the Earth doesn't move.
Well, it's scale, man. You have to get really, really far away from the ship to start actually zooming out away from the planet.
Makes sense, I guess. I should know these things.
You want to give it one more go here?
Yeah. Okay, let's go back to vehicle assembly. So
I'm just gonna put some small fins on there and check the couplers. There might be some. You might be able to just move them down a little bit.
It feels like a little bit like I'm giving up by removing these airplane wings that weigh 0.8 tons each. But fine.
You could put some smaller. You don't have to necessarily have the giant penis head tips on the.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
just
So would you move the couplers themselves down?
yeah, I would try that maybe.
Like,
Because I think what's happening is when you decouple the solid fuel boosters, that they're like coming in and hitting the engine, and maybe if you give yourself a little bit more clearance, you'd be better off.
so
Or you could cover it up with a decoupler on the bottom of it, maybe.
well, I'm sure that would help, right? That would probably protect it a bit.
Yeah.
So let's get the radial decouplers. We'll add another. Is this the right size?
Yeah, it might...
No, that didn't work.
That's not the right spot, though.
It's a stack separator. I just want a good old decoupler. All right. Is that a little... Is that too big? A little big. That's really tiny. Why are they all not the right size? There you go.
There you go. That's perfect.
Okay, so these are the radial decouplers. This is the bottom one. Let's get our solid fuel boosters on there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that was the good old kickback.
That was the kickback, yeah.
600 kilonewtons of love and force. Move this whole thing up a little bit, huh?
Yeah. Now I'm a little scared that it's going to be a little top heavy, but we'll see.
Top or bottom?
Or, yeah, no, top heavy, because it'll start to, when it hits the atmosphere, it'll start to, like, be pushed over sideways.
All right, want some little weedos cones. Oh, those are good. I like how you can just stick them anywhere you want to. How about these? No, those are the big ones again.
That's your glands.
Didn't learn that lesson. It's the aerodynamic nose cone. There you go. It's almost like they were made to be like that.
Mm-hmm.
How about a standard canard?
All right. Okay, all right.
Looks good, though?
Yeah.
Good.
I don't like to spread rumors, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
Oh, those are big. This makes this look like some kind of angry lizard that's going to spit at you.
Uh-huh.
All right, so we don't want any of that. So what we need to do now is, well, we need to get the little towers, and then we need to make sure that our stack is set up in the right order.
Yeah.
All right. So the stack is going to decouple at the same time that the rockets fire.
Sounds good.
And then the radial decouplers are currently going at the same time as the one that protects the engine, so we should maybe separate those guys.
You can do that, yeah, if you want to.
So the radial decouplers will go first.
Yep.
And then we will kind of pop the seal off on our engine. Then we will fire the engine.
Or that bad dad.
Then we're going to ditch that, fire that engine,
Yep.
ditch that, parachute.
Okay, one more thing.
Yes.
We might want to put a solar panel on our command pod so that
Oh.
way our your stabilization thing will run out of battery juice.
Mm.
We only need like one of those.
But if I have one, it'll be unbalanced.
Okay, well you need 8.
You do 2?
Okay, yeah, that'd be fine. This thing. I hope we get far enough out into space to actually use that, because those things. Oh, you know what else we could use?
I don't know.
Well, you should type maybe lights into that search bar up there.
Like and
Light.
subscribe.
Light.
Oh, light. Solar array illuminator.
There you go.
A strong beam of photons in its prograde direction. Thank you. Thank you very much. But you put... Oh, they just go like on the outside?
Yeah, you can put a bunch of those on there. I believe that you can make those whatever color you want as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe more than we need right there. Something like this. Nice little 3-color.
That way when you get to the moon, you have some, way to see where you're landing.
I love that optimism. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, there you
All right. We'll make one of them blue. And then, and then a red and then a green, right?
Yeah, that sounds good to me. This is one of those totally unnecessary things that I love about this game.
Oh, okay. They're all linked together. I would have to do like different sets.
One individually, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna make them. We're gonna just go like full turquoise, green and blue.
That sounds good.
In space, no one can hear you turquoise.
Didn't make it. He thought he might show up and just see what's going on, but he could have helped us a lot, I think.
Okay, so here's the Stick Palo 3 ready for launch.
Okay.
I think. We'll find out shortly.
Looks like the game is going, oh man, I don't know about this one.
It's a lot less heavy than our last one was.
Yeah.
All right, what is it? T minus 10, 9, 8, yada, yada, yada. Whoa, dear. Oh, I don't like what's happening there at all. That's just not reassuring.
Everything is fine.
That does not give me a good feeling.
I'm just hoping that it doesn't tip over.
Well, I'm actually trying to make it tip over a little bit.
Yeah, you might want to wait until you get out of the lowest layer of atmosphere. Yeah,
I like this.
Right. It's going.
This is a nice gentle angle here.
It's not too bad.
A little leaning tower happening.
When I made some, I had some problems where they would get a little tipped over sometimes.
Yeah, but I am a physicist.
That's true.
Which by extension means I'm probably a rocket scientist.
Right. It's all pretty much the same thing.
And I am related to a rocket scientist, so, just maybe not exactly the right way to describe him, but he does space stuff.
Okay. And you said he played and liked this game, right?
He did, yes. I gave it to him. All right, this is going all right. This is going okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to start throttling up. Look at that. Oh, that's gorgeous.
And everything.
Boom.
Oh, yeah.
Give it to me.
All right, you might want to check your Apple Appsys and see where you're at.
All right, we're going to turn this on. We're heading towards 80 soon. It's like 75.
I mean, if you want to get to 80 and kill the engine until you get up there and then start using that to burn into orbit, that'd be fine with me.
Look at this bad boy. Man, this is a badass looking rocket.
Yeah, I like the spikes at the bottom.
I don't know what's got
the couplers or what.
Studded collar. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. Remember this thing looking quite so badass last time
it's also like black. Oh, you can turn the lights on with. I don't remember what button the lights are, but you should turn them on now. Maybe just right click them and you can turn them on.
Oh, oops. Wait.
That's your mono propellant.
Oh yeah, I don't know what I just did. I just probably jettisoned something important.
Right. We don't need them.
They are on. Oh no, it's light status nominal.
Oh.
Well, my choices are off or on, so they're on, I guess.
What I turn mine on, it would
we're actually getting pretty close to the Apple Appsys there.
Maneuver setup and.
So now it's time to go prograde and fucking give her.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. How much fuel you got?
How much? We got a lot. We got so much fuel.
You're gonna get at least one good shot at crashing into moon. What's your electric like?
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say we didn't put any batteries on the ship.
Okay, fair enough.
Details. I'm a big picture kind of guy.
Yeah. Let somebody.
Look how big this picture is, huh? We got the Earth there, the Mun. No, Kerbin.
Yeah, I believe it's the name of the planet.
Man, that looks good.
Yeah.
Those solar arrays look like guns. We're gonna go fuck some people up on the moon.
It's real good when you deploy those, especially when they're the big ones. Look at that.
Sometimes a rocket's just a rocket, you know?
One of my favorite things in video games is getting into the maneuver view and just watching that little line stretch out, and then eventually encompassing the entire planet.
In this part here?
Yeah. Because it goes like faster and faster and faster, and then just pops in.
We are about to run out of fuel for this particular engine.
Okay. No, just let it keep, just burn it, baby. I think we're gonna make it to orbit. This is a very big orbit, though.
I don't I don't like the way you're kind of judging the quality of my orbit. Look, sometimes you just need a big apoapsis, all right?
All right, fair enough. Don't be judgy.
Well, there we go. We're out of juice.
All right, what's our paraapsis? Are we gonna stay in?
Currently 11 kilometers.
Yeah. See,
Not
when you
great.
when you do that maneuver, you almost want to go totally horizontal.
I
Instead
guess I
of
thought I was because I
vertical.
was in prograde,
Yeah.
which I thought was.
On your ball there, you can see that you're still pointed up a little bit. But
I
anyway,
suppose you're right.
you can dump that other thing, and when you get to the apoapsis, you can just fire the other booster enough to get yourself into orbit.
Second stage is away. Okay, look at that. We're in space.
That's pretty sick.
Ain't give a damn. It's just sitting there. That's beautiful. We got all day, man.
Just
This is what happens when you just give a very light nudge on like 2 tons worth of rocket.
Mm-hmm.
As a kid, I always used to wonder what would happen if you were in some kind of giant space garage next to a Star Destroyer and you could put your back up against the wall and push on it with your feet. Like, would you be able to make it move, you know? Like,
I don't know. I think you would need something to push off of, right?
yeah, the space garage wall.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. I mean,
In
probably,
this
right?
in this scenario, the space garage is basically the giant unmovable object, right? And there's like 3 feet between you and the back end of the Star Destroyer, so you just
the
kind
space garage is like anchored to a planet or something somehow.
of, you know,
Or it has some.
it's all relative.
It has some thrusters that's keeping it in position.
It's just way heavier than the Star Destroyer.
All right.
So at some point, it doesn't matter. The idea is just, can you push this immense object that is kind of unfathomably huge with your human legs and actually make it go somewhere eventually?
I mean, if it's too much mass, probably you still won't be able to. But
Hmm.
who knows? Who can? We won't
Yeah.
know until we try.
All right. Well, there's no point in just sitting here and staring at our boosters drifting away. Aside from that, it's kind of cool.
Get yourself set up and then
Warp to the
your next
apoapsis.
There goes
So we do need to make sure that we don't die on our first orbit, right?
Right. Well, if you hit atmosphere, it'll just suck you back into the planet.
And we'll die.
Yeah. So we really want.
I'm here to tell you, we're not set up to not die when that happens.
We might not have enough heat shielding on our parachute for that to survive re-entry, anyways.
Oh, I guess I need to activate my burner. All right. Woo. All right. So check out that sweet Perry app.
Kill the engine now. That's good. That's more than enough.
Okay. So
how are we doing fuel wise?
we got
actually. So that orbit is way too big. Ideally you'd be a lot tighter to the planet, but I will say that if you go down, like, see how close you are to being in line with Moon. Like, the fact that you're kind of spinning around Kerbin at approximately the same angle as Moon gives you a much better chance of actually being captured by it.
So now if I want to get to Moon, I need to broaden.
Well, so what you need to do is you have to use the maneuver button now. You have to go into the thing because you'll have to make adjustments to your pitch and your yaw to kind of point you in that. And you also have to get the timing right so that way you cross Moon's orbit at the same time Moon is crossing the orbit. So that way you will be captured by its gravity. So
do I start by setting it as a target?
Yeah, you can do that. That will probably help. And then see those little buttons there, those little flags on the orbits. You can adjust on the there you go. Those
ascending node, descending node.
Yeah, so you kind of want to like wiggle those back and forth. I think if you like click on them, maybe.
I don't seem to be doing a whole lot.
Go back to the thing and then click add maneuver.
All right. Do you have an idea as to where I should add the maneuver?
I think you want to usually do it near your apoapsis, but I'm not on.
We're still pretty near the apoapsis.
Yeah, you're good. Just
Okay, so now what do I do? Like, I just drag on these and...
Yeah, so the blue one is will make your thing bigger. The purple one moves you. You can kind of see how it's the dotted line is changing when you pull on those. So
Mm-hmm.
the purple one and the red one adjust your angle of your orbit, and the green one and the blue one will adjust the amount of your orbit. So
Ooh,
so you don't want to you might want to delete this maneuver and reset because you
that's quitter talk.
well because you ideally you don't want to if you have to adjust your like your
Holy, whoa.
angle so that it's right there you're hitting the moon's gravity and it's pushing you out into outer space.
That would be so cool. Um,
You'll have to look and see if you have enough fuel to make that happen. But this one that this maneuver is set up might be just it might like spin you around a bunch because of how fucked up the orbit is. So you might want to delete it and start over.
fine. Okay.
Look, man, do you want to crash this thing into the moon or not?
Yeah, I really do.
Nope, don't use the purple one.
No?
No, don't touch the purple one or the red one. Or there you go. Get it back to so it's about flat with what you're currently.
But I mean, I do need to adjust a little bit because I'm not on the same plane.
Actually might not have to.
Oh, because you need to see what we'll be at by the time we get.
Use that green one, and then now spin the maneuver around a little bit. Like you can change where it is on the thing.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go. So bring it, just move it around until maybe you hit moon a little bit.
That?
Is your engine going?
Yes, it is.
You might want to turn that off.
I think you're right. Well, like we have a much more circular orbit now.
Yeah, that's true.
And still about 2/3 of our fuel tank left.
Okay. Yeah, you want to go back out that way. There you go. All right, maybe just try pulling the red one a little bit. Okay, try it. You're getting close. You're getting real close. You're definitely being affected by the moon's gravity. Bring it in a little bit. There you go. All right. Oh, go back out just a little bit. And then can you change the angle so I can see how it's? Yeah, there you.
Okay, we're a little bit underneath.
Yeah, you're a little. You want to go the other way. There you go. I mean, you can make it. You can orbit it kind of any direction. You just want to do it with as little use of fuel as possible.
So, how do I know if that's actually going to happen?
Well, so what you do is you set up your maneuver and then you burn until your actual orbit is. You burn in the direction of the maneuver until your orbit gets where you want it. Basically, it usually takes 2 maneuvers to get into orbit around the moon. You do one to get you intercepted with the moon's gravity, and then when you get close, you do a second one that will bring the orbit in around the moon.
But is this close enough, or do I need to...
That's probably close enough. That probably would get you there.
So, okay. So now if I want...
Right. So see on the green strip on the bottom of the screen, just to the right side, so it says 697.3 meters per second.
Here? Yeah.
The smaller that number is, the better, because it means that you burn less fuel. So if you can adjust the maneuver at all to... Yeah, see? You're a little...
I mean, right now I'm going like right through the moon.
Yeah. All right. I mean, that works.
Seems good. So now I want to time warp to this place.
So get yourself... There should be a button to get yourself lined up for the maneuver.
Maneuver.
There you go. There's your mono. All right. So now you want to warp and then you want to burn. And we'll see if we got enough to make it there. There should be a...
Oh, we're going the other way.
There should be a warp to maneuver button.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that without undoing my maneuver.
Oh, just click right before the maneuver. And then warp to that point.
Good idea, I guess.
Yeah. All right. So now you want to zoom in a little bit. And then there should be a gauge somewhere that tells you when you're close to your maneuver.
Um,
I don't remember. See, I had a thing, like I had a thing where I had all the shit picked out.
I mean, I can tell right now that I'm pretty close to my maneuver.
I mean, you want to
This is as close as this is as far as I can zoom. So I'm gonna hit the burn.
Go ahead now. As soon as you hit
now.
Yeah, there's a way to do it pretty precisely. I also think you might want to start just a little bit before you get to it, but just keep burning. See how it's getting closer?
Yeah.
And then cut the engine as soon as you hit the moon's gravity. All right, cut it.
I don't know if I'm hitting the moon's. Well, I guess I must be because I'm not going around.
See how that yellow line is kind of actually orbiting the sun instead of the planet?
Whoa.
Yeah. So,
hello.
So as of right now, what's going to happen is you're going to hit the.
Okay.
Hit the moon,
we're about 10 million kilometers away from.
You're going to hit the moon, and then that's going to slingshot you out into orbit around the sun.
That is pretty cool, actually.
It is pretty cool. How much fuel have you got left? Oh shit! We're gonna crash into the moon, Mike.
All right. Hey, maybe we'll do a perfect, beautiful landing.
We might, except we don't have any landing gear or anything.
All right. So I mean, I guess we want to get a little bit closer and then try and program a maneuver.
Now you start setting up your maneuver now.
Oops. How do you? I can't find any way to pan the map around. I can rotate it all day long, but
I don't know if there is necessarily. But so
it'd be really good if there was, because I'm going to this moon over here. Anyway,
I'm trying to remember where the ideal place to do that is, but I don't really remember.
Nope.
I try not to touch those as much as I can.
I am a little bit confused because this does not make a lot of sense what I'm seeing here.
Delete that maneuver.
Yeah, die.
All right.
Do I need to delete my previous maneuver?
Yeah, you can do that. It'll clear up some of that bullshit.
Yeah, it's making me a little bit less confused now.
Right. So see where that little green thing is there? The little arrow?
Yeah.
You want to kind of, you want to be, or like, I think around there.
Oh, this thing here? Yeah, closest approach.
Closest approach. So I think right around there is where you want to go. And then you want to do, I think you want to do the other one.
The blue?
No, nope. Try the other green one, the green one on the right side, maybe.
It's like
Yeah, it's really hard to navigate in 3D space, turns out.
This is why I didn't like Homeworld. Are you sure I don't need to do any up or down?
You might, maybe a little bit, but not a lot, I don't think.
No, but I think a little bit, because I think I'm coming in underneath the moon. So now I've got an ascending node, I guess, isn't worth a lot. Whoa.
Try the green ones again.
It looks like I'm practically going to smash right into the thing. Tell me that I'm not going to fly right into the moon with the path.
I mean, you might. Orbits are hard. I mean,
we had this stuff figured out.
You can do this burn and see where it gets you.
Yeah, I guess so. All right, let's get a little closer then.
There it is.
Hey. All right. So I need to orient myself to maneuver.
Uh-oh.
What?
I think you're going to just end up orbiting the sun.
What?
Which direction is the moon moving?
Oh, the moon's moved a lot since the last time I looked at it.
Yeah, I think we might have fucked up a little bit.
Why do I keep getting this weird, like, spacey
That
stuff.
purple line is your estimated orbit. So it's
Oh.
basically telling you that you're going to fly off into space. I forgot that the moon is a moving target.
that is a pretty important thing when you're talking. Well, what about this?
So remember, it's going to keep moving.
Well, the moon always did say, keep on moving. Keep on moving, don't stop, no.
Well,
It's going to get us like right in the path of the moon.
yeah.
Destination moon date.
That's a lot of fuel.
You think?
Yeah.
We could, I guess we could probably go back to like our last burn, maybe?
Can you do that? Is there like an undo?
You revert your flight. No, okay. All right, well then we're just going to live with this.
All right. Well, we'll do it.
Yeah, all right. Well,
zoom out again. I want to just look at what the orbit currently is. Okay, so the current orbit takes you out and
I have no idea where we're going right now.
Yeah, zoom back out some more. So what's your orbit is the...
I guess it's this thing here?
I was going to say maybe we could hit one of the planets, but that might not be practical either.
You don't think we got the juice to make this burn? That's a major course correction, huh?
Yeah, well, because so not only are you trying to get to it, but you're also trying to catch up to it since it already passed you.
It basically means I just basically want to turn around, which is not easy to do.
Yeah. I mean, so you could try...
Well, what's another... But every other target's moving too. Space is hard.
Space is really hard.
Why did we choose to go to the moon? It's hard.
You could have turned... I mean, well, how much... So we got a lot of fuel left, right?
We got like 40% of a tank.
Okay. Because, see, you're going to cross with the next planet in your current orbit.
Mono?
Yeah.
Minmus.
Could you hit Minmus?
Well,
I guess
I doubt it, because it's even farther away along the same path as the...
Well, yeah, but so if you...
Okay, what if we kill this maneuver, huh?
Yeah, try and delete that. What a maneuver.
What maneuver?
Yeah. Just accelerate out a little bit more. Get yourself out in between the moon and Minmus. Just let it happen.
Oh, you mean just let time go, you mean?
Let time go. Because you're not going to you can't hit the moon anymore, I don't think.
Man.
Yeah.
All right. Woo, that was a little too much. Just a little too far there.
Well, you might as well just let it happen. Let's see what happens. Get out there. See what happens. Get yourself in an orbit around the sun. We might be able to find something to collide with.
We're warping at 10,000x. Or no, okay, we can keep adding factors of 10.
You will once you get into orbit around the sun. You can add more.
It looks like we could probably get back onto Earth.
You want to try? Well, let's just find a target to try and hit, and then we'll burn and see what happens. Cause see that purple thing? I don't know what the purple thing is.
Eve.
All right. See it? You're gonna cross Eve's orbit, and you're gonna cross it almost in the right spot to maybe get captured by Eve.
You just want to see how close we get?
Yeah, we might be able to. Maybe you're not gonna.
Eve's going a lot faster than we are.
Well, just let it go for a little bit. Let's see what happens. Because if you don't get it on this one, you might be able to go around a few times and then hit it.
I mean, I could also...
Eventually, Eve will catch back up to you, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we're on a bigger orbit, so...
Yeah.
Kerbins don't need to eat, do they?
Nah, they're fine. I mean, how long have they been at space now? I think you can check, actually. There's like a...
300 days, it looks like.
Okay.
Or 250.
Yeah, that's nothing. They're tough. Is this as fast as you can go?
I think so.
Okay.
I've pressed the speed up button and all my arrows are green.
Alright. I mean, see how it's catching up to you? Like, it. I wish we could go a little faster. Maybe one more pass.
Yeah, it may take a little more than that. Well, now the problem is I'm going to be on its orbit for the next chunk, so it's not going to gain on me for a while. I guess I could just slow down a bit.
You could try that, but you're going to need whatever fuel you got to try and run into it. I mean, you could just stop here and set up a maneuver and see what happens if you want. It's coming back around.
Let's see. If we were to set up a maneuver here. Ooh, weird.
You're going to burn out or burn in?
No, I was doing kind of neither, I think. Just kind of burning for no good reason.
I think you went the green ones is the one that adjusts your speed in and out.
Mm-hmm. That's still a pretty big burn. Oh, I guess I missed my chance because we're past there. That's because the time is still going pretty fast. I would like to stop the time going fast, please. Here, let's warp to a location.
I'm gonna slow it down a little bit.
Okay. All right, time's going slow. Right. Add a maneuver. Now, so we can slow her down. I mean, at the very least, if nothing else, getting us onto this kind of orbit opens up all kinds of fun possibilities. But that's going to require a lot of juice.
Yeah, that's a lot of fuel. Should I go back out?
I don't know, man.
It's tough.
I think we had our chance.
Just go out some more, like add more to it. There you go. And then just try. You can slide the maneuver around a little bit.
Oh, on the timeline?
Yeah. Is it intersecting with anything?
Well, yes, but the question is, will it be there at the time?
Yeah. Oh well. You want to just pull it in as much as you can and see if the sun will suck you in?
Sure. That's going to take way more fuel than I got.
Probably.
But what the heck?
Yeah, well, you got nothing to lose, right? Look, man, we made it into space. We got a real close-up view of
the moon. That was not the right button. All right, thanks everyone for joining us in our Kerbal Space Program stream.
You know, for only playing for what you played through.
I got like 3 or 4 hours on the clock at this point.
Like 20 hours like 3 years ago. So we did all right.
We did a lot better than I thought we were going to.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize. I think I underestimated how hard it would be to hit the moon once you're in space.
It's really hard. The maneuvers are hard to figure out. There are tutorials for all that stuff that will show you how to use the nodes on the maneuver thing.
Yes, I didn't do those tutorials. I only got as far as orbit.
Yeah, for a first orbit, that was pretty damn good.
I mean, I'm happy with how that went. Give these guys a little bit of a ride.
Yeah. There's one more thing that I think we should do, and that's blow up a ship on the tarmac before we go.
Okay.
I think we should just put as many rockets on a thing as we can. And
alrighty.
And just have some fun with that.
Let's revert to vehicle assembly. Approximately 600 days ago. Okay.
All right.
So
I'm going to start with this as a base, or...
Sure, I don't want to start over from scratch. It'd take too long. So
you know, there's like some more. Yeah, I mean, there's more engines you can put on there. Yeah, I like it.
I put engines on the engines is my question.
Yeah, I think so.
Just keep building out.
Yeah. This is.
Can I put
honestly,
3?
This is the best thing about this game, is that there are no rules. You might need some struts to hold those on there.
I don't know.
Or you might need some wings for stabilization purposes as well. So I don't know if you can find those big ones that you had before, but
Oh, what I really like is that these guys. Well, okay, we need them to fire pretty early.
I think some of those engines are existing inside some of the other engines.
We won't know until we try, right? Let's go.
I think this is just gonna fall over.
Well, not if I hit the spacebar fast enough. We should be all right. Let's see here.
Oh no, it's
oh, this is beautiful. Let's go.
Yeah. Look at that. Why is this working? Has this not blown itself apart yet?
It actually seems to be working kind of well. Oh, oh dear. Something's not happy down there.
Overheating and blowing up the lower engines. I don't. Maybe
well, something exploded not long ago.
Oh, maybe it blew up those other engines. Wow, I can't believe that you took off with that. That's.
Uh-oh. Oh no, okay, that's not the way. Where are you guys going?
Tilt it over sideways so you can get into orbit. Whoops.
Oh, we're not going up anymore. Come on, guys. Come on. Keep it cool.
Yep. Oh, see? Oh, maybe the bottom ones were on a
I think some of them must not have been what's next?
On a different stage or something? Yeah, get that big one going. There you go. Straighten it out a little bit.
I don't know why these things are still stuck here.
Well, they attached to it. They might not. I don't think we put any couplers in there, did we? I think the other ones just fell off.
Let's go.
This is a good game. Parachute, yeah.
Safe and sound.
Yep. Another perfect flight.
That's one of the.
Oh man.
That was very. I was gonna say, unless some of the debris that we dropped about 6 kilometers above us lands on us as we're coming down.
Still going, man. There's probably one of those boosters probably made it to space.
All right, I guess at this point we should maybe do some judging here, and I'm gonna say, you know what, this game is super fun to play with other people. I think I'm not at first. I was a little hesitant with this thing because when I was sitting down by myself to learn it and build stuff and not really know what I was doing, it kind of felt like work. And these days, that's just not a thing that I want, is to work and have things be hard. But I think it makes a really good party game, if that makes any sense. Like hanging out with people.
It helps if you play with somebody who kind of knows what's going on. Also.
It does help a lot. Yes, I appreciate that quite a bit. So I guess what I'm saying is I'd be happy to do this kind of nonsense again at some point. I'm not sure if I would sit down by myself and just try to build stuff for very long, though.
Yeah.
I think we should revisit space in the future.
We'll give it another shot. I think we can do it.
All right. Well, in that case,
fins, maybe.
There's definitely room for more fins. But I don't think I'm going to put them on tonight because it's getting kind of late. Yeah. So let's save some ideas for next time. Oh, maybe when we get around to doing our extra live stream, maybe there'll be some room there for
hell yeah,
creative stuff.
I think Kurt and I think Anthony might have some really good ideas when it comes to.
Oh, I bet,
dynamics. Yeah.
A lot of things look like penises in this game.
He would love it.
Well, the crew has arrived safe and sound after what was probably a very harrowing journey.
Can you do me a favor and right-click on the solar array and just expand that out real quick?
Boop.
There you go.
Nice.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I should have done that while we were falling.
Yeah, I forgot to do it when we were in space, but those are real good. Bye-bye, everybody.
We'll see you next week
from everyone
on the Stick. Woo.